Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Chats with Ant and Rye. This time, we're taking a little bit of a step back in time. We're doing a 2022 movie. It's called Men, directed by Alex Garland, starring Jessie, Buckley, and Rory Kinnear. We've got a young lady called Harper. She's recently lost her husband via suicide. So she wants to go off and have just just find herself again. Just she owes it, she needs a bit of a break from reality. What's gone on? She goes to this little cabin and there's
It's
a
not a
little
little
town.
cabin.
It's a house.
Big
It's a
mansion,
nice
sort
house.
of. Yeah.
Big mansion. I should say big mansion. Sorry. And she finds that all the men in the town just a little bit peculiar with not just how they treat her, but
Yeah, as if they were the same person.
all men are the same. The first man she meets is the caretaker of the house. His name's Jeffrey. Obviously, Rory Kinnear plays every single male character in this film,
Hmm.
and every single man that she interacts with has just got a bit of its toxic masculinity towards it. There's some
Yep.
misogyny, and it just gets worse as the movie goes on. And then a third act, which I'm still struggling to get my head around with what happened in this third act.
It's a very abstract and symbolistic movie.
Yes. We'll go through a few things that did really well. I think Alex
Mhm.
Garland's just the way he directs the film. It's a beautiful film.
It's beautiful for English countryside, the way
Yeah.
that it looks almost surreal. It
Yeah.
almost looks like Iceland, the
Yeah.
dreamy, very wide landscape, all the
Yep.
greenery. It's a beautiful
Yep.
movie to look at.
Yep. And then you've got when she's having her flashbacks when her marriage is breaking down, her and her husband are fighting a lot. He hits her, and then she kicks him out. It's all in this kind of just very sunsetty orange.
Almost like
Similar
burning.
to, yeah, similar to, because we obviously reviewed his Civil War movie.
Yeah,
There's quite a lot of oranges in that. He does colors very well. I love
he
how his
does.
use of colors.
It's crazy to think that he went from this movie to Civil War.
Because he's naturally British himself. So the fact that he did
Yeah.
this very British movie with some very
Mm.
British cast to Civil War, which is
Yeah.
very American. It's
Yeah.
what
Even
it's
though
all
she's
about.
Irish, so let's not
Yeah,
get
she's
some hate
Irish.
in the
Yeah.
comments. She's Irish.
Sorry, she's Irish. I don't know what nationality Rory Kinnear is either. So
Oh, he's
just yeah,
English. He's fully
he's
English, which was interesting to see him in all those roles, actually.
yeah.
I thought that was a clever choice, and we can come to the meaning and why. He's brilliant in all those roles.
Oh
And
yeah,
it
right.
took me a while to pick up that, wait, this is the same person, because
Yep.
they really feel different. Not when he goes to the bar, this is where it becomes very obvious because he's not groomed, he doesn't have any prosthetics, so you can really tell that it's him.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this actor, I don't know if you watch Black Mirror.
No.
No. So the first episode of Black Mirror is playing the Prime Minister of England. And
Okay.
one princess gets kidnapped, and for her to be released, he has to have sexual intercourse with a pig on national television. That's the entire
Okay.
intrigue. And I think every time that I see him in anything, because he was in James Bond as well, the latest James
Yeah.
Bond, it's always the pig effer. That's how I see him. So it was interesting that I think he really got the opportunity to showcase his full range with this movie by playing all those different
Yeah.
characters.
And it's interesting how it's almost the misogyny and toxic masculinity. It
Yeah.
just increases with every interaction she has. Jeffrey, he's actually a bit charming. He jokes with her and he's like, "Oh, don't eat the apple because
He's
it's forbidden
kind.
fruit."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "I'm just joking. I'm just joking." And then it's like the pubs. It's a 10-minute walk there and a 30-minute walk back. I giggled at that. I
Mm.
thought that was really funny. But he's refusing to let her help with the bags. It's just
Yeah.
that first. It's almost gentlemanly. Oh, and then the
It's old
boy.
school. A lot of
Yeah,
people wouldn't think much of it, or like not in a
yeah,
negative way. Some people
yeah.
would,
No, no,
of saying,
yeah,
"Hey, I can take care of my bags. It doesn't have anything to do with my gender," but it's
yeah.
soft.
And then the boy who he calls her a female dog because it
Yeah.
won't play hide and seek. The
Oh
priest
my
who
god,
goes,
the face of that kid.
oh,
It's
that
just
was
like
great.
when he takes off the mask and it's Rory Kinnear's face on the kid's body. He's like, oh.
The priest when she has the conversation with the priest, and it's like, now, did you let him apologize for hitting you in the face? Because if you didn't let him apologize, he might still be alive. And it's like, oh,
The priest is horrible.
right.
It's like, yeah, couldn't stomach him. I mean, him and the police officer that is very dismissing as well.
Yeah.
Those were two that's like, that's very hard to stomach, like how much they're not taking her seriously. And because she's a woman, it's very clear.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So my question is, who was this film a message to? Is this a message to guys like you and me who are obviously nothing like the men represented in this film? Or is it a message to guys who are like this in the film who might sit back and go, I do that. That's not very good, is it?
I just go around naked in somebody else's garden, putting some leaf in my face and eating some apple off a tree. You don't do that.
Should I stop doing that?
Wait. Right.
All right. It's like that crossing off a leaf. Yeah. Don't do that.
Do not do that. I don't know exactly who this is addressed to. I mean, I'm still coming to the interpretation of the entire movie and what it's trying to say because it's very abstract. My interpretation is, especially with the scene at the end where, well, there is two things. First of all, the fact that she's coming and there is an apple tree and she's eating an apple, and then we have the naked guy who is also in the garden eating an apple. There is a clear symbolism about Adam and Eve eating the apple in the forbidden apple in the garden. So there is that. And also that she's Eve, and then when the priest is talking to her, the first interaction, and then at the end when she ends up stabbing him and is sort of coming on to her, there is also the subtext of the woman is the temptress and men are powerless to the temptation of it, which is BS, men should be able to control themselves. And then when there is this scene of the endless birth of men after men after men after men, I think that also means toxic masculinity that is being reproduced man after man after man because it's being passed down from generation to generation and from man to man. This is how I interpret it.
Yeah, I
think this is a commentary on toxic masculinity and how women are being treated in society, and not right now, but from the beginning of time. And also, I think there is a connection with her husband because she wanted to leave him and he emotionally blackmailed her saying, hey, I'm going to kill myself if you divorce me. And he ends up doing it and hitting her when she's like, I don't care. I want to leave anyway.
Yeah.
And in the end, he's the final form of those men giving birth to men. It's him.
Yep.
Especially with the foot, the crooked foot, and the spliced hand. It's him.
Because that's obviously the injuries he got when he fell.
Exactly. So is it also something about him being a toxic man? Definitely. But also Harper processing a trauma and the guilt that she has in his death. And that is more something that is being played in her mind.
Yeah.
I spoke for a long time, but that's my entire interpretation of the movie.
That's, way better than what I thought. I was thinking, is this a message about, again, women have to carry the child, and this is a man carrying a child, and that men giving birth and men taking that role over. That's what I thought it might have been, but I love the fact
that would have been good, but
yeah.
If anything, men in this movie have just proven that they are not supporting women.
Yeah. I want to touch on the fact that Rory Kinnear plays all the men again. And I love the fact that when Harper's talking to her friend, she never mentions, hey, this is really weird. All these men look exactly alike, because I don't think she's seeing them looking all alike. It's for the audience. So she's seeing different people, but we are seeing all the same, because I think it's trying to, again, push that kind of message that are all men the same. And this, in this instance, yes, they are. These men are all the same because they have that I'm a man, I'm better than a woman,
Mm.
and there are no other women in this town. She's the only woman in the town.
Yeah.
It looks like it because
Yeah, 100%.
she's
Look, this is not a movie that is realistic. It's very abstract and it's very surreal. And I think it operates on nightmare logic. So yes, I agree with you. She doesn't necessarily see that those men all look alike. She's just seeing men and they're an entity in this nightmarish thing that she's going through. This is why I'm also thinking about maybe this is a metaphor for her processing her trauma because it operates on that logic and not real world logic.
I like that. I felt like he was trying to set up a couple of things that it abandoned a little bit. There was a scene in her first moment, which she's on the phone to her friend, and the screen kind of cuts. She's kind of gets a bit staticky, and you almost see her friend screaming in the phone. And I was like, "Oh, that's a great setup of something," and it went nowhere.
Yep,
I was like,
100%.
That could have been something. I was like, I was expecting some real terror there, but it just
and I think this sums up my issue with the movie is that you have some symbolism, and I think some of it is clever. You have a few things that is making you think, and that's interesting, but nothing really connects at any point, or it doesn't connect enough for the movie to work as a whole.
No. And that whole third act where you've got I've looked it up, it's the green man I don't know if the yellow man and the green man are the same person. The yellow man is obviously the naked man, and then a green man comes and he's got all the plants all over his face, and he's kind of starts the process of having the babies. And like you said, it's another generation of men being men. Yeah. It could have been done so much better.
Yeah.
Because 5 babies get born of the same man, and it's just like, are they all going to be in the town? And it just made no sense.
No.
It sort of did with what I like your logic. That actually made some logic of sense to my mind.
I had to rack my brains to come up with that explanation because I was just watching it and I was like, what the hell is happening?
You did well. I appreciate you at least letting it make some semblance of sense to me. But, yeah. Should we get into our scores?
Let's do it. Let's go into scores.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I like just
That's
for
very
the fact
nice.
that it was just for the acting and the directing. I was on the fence of 3 and 3.5. I'll go a little bit more just because it was those two things really pushed it. And it's just the third act let it down for me.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I give it a 2.5 out of 5. I'm not going to be as nice. As I said, I really try to understand what the movie was trying to say. And I like when a movie is clever and wants to make you think and interpret, but when it's too abstract and I really have to connect the dots, and then when I do, I'm not even sure what it means. It's not an experience that I necessarily enjoy. I think it needs to be a bit more, streamlined, if this is how you want to describe it. But the movie as a whole doesn't really work. There is some elements that in isolation, they work, they set up things properly. The direction, the way it looks is beautiful. The way it's acted, it's very, very good. I like that this is a bit of a nightmare fuel as well, but too abstract. If you like abstract stuff, if you like to have an experience, if you like David Lynch movies, I think you might enjoy this movie. I didn't really enjoy it, but I think there is an audience out there that will really enjoy it. So yeah, I give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody, and watching. We'll put a link in the description below where you can find this one. Please let us know in the comments section what you thought of this film. Did you agree? Do you disagree? We're always happy to hear what you all think out there. As always, we'll see you next week.